I'm pleased to say we're joined by the Neon Nightmare, Stowe Buntz. Thanks for the time again, Stowe. How you doing?
Great, man. Great. Drinking a beer. Just got off a bunch of planes. Enjoying myself. Trying to relax.
Glad to hear it. And it's not often that we have a player on the show as a guest 3 times in the same year, let alone 3 times in, 4 months? So you must have something exciting lined up for this weekend.
Yeah. Don't embarrass yourself.
Well, you are obviously opening up the show at Ali Pali, the PDC World Championship on Friday night. You're back in the UK now for a second visit, but let's start things off looking back. Your first trip across the pond, the Grand Slam of Darts, and you said to us before it was your first time travelling outside of North America. So first of all, what was the long journey like?
It was very interesting. Flights were actually perfect. On time, arrived early. Craziness started when we got to Paddington Station. I had to figure out train rides and undergrounds and everything else. So that was a little stressful for the wife and myself. But we were able to get there. Got to Wolverhampton. Got settled in the first night. We got there a day before most everybody else did, so we could kind of relax and get settled in and get myself right for the tournament.
Yeah, you make the trip over to Wolverhampton, and then Saturday night it's time for the debut, the much anticipated match against Peter Wright. What was the build up like, particularly on that Saturday, going to the venue at this time, the group stage? It's a busy players room, I'm guessing. So what was it like being in that environment?
Oh, it was fun. I got to see some of the players, obviously at the hotel the night before, and then getting to the venue during the afternoon session, and seeing what the crowd was like, and feeling the vibe that the crowd was giving off. Got to meet some of the players, Josh Rock, Rob Cross, Luke Humphreys. Those 3 guys came up to me and shook my hand and made me feel at home, told me congratulations, made me feel like I deserved to be there. So hats off to them 3 gentlemen. I appreciate that. They were definitely humble. And then to just kind of practice with the rest of the professionals in the room was fun. Every once in a while you could probably catch me out on the balcony, just getting the vibe from the crowd and then kind of living it up as a fan and absorbing it and taking it in and trying to use that fandom that I have and turn it into some sort of momentum to use for myself for going into actual play.
And what a debut it was. The 102 average, a 5-1 win against Peter Wright. What was that moment like when you beat Peter and you've wrapped up a victory and a performance that good as well?
Woo, that was interesting. It was nerve-wracking. The most nervous part was walking down the aisle with Peter Wright. That was fun. That was exciting, nervous. Man, just to share that moment, my first time ever, was pretty damn amazing. And then to be able to obviously go on stage and showcase my talent and what I can do as a player, made it even more real for me, and it definitely gave me confidence to know that I could go out there, put up good numbers, and not let the nerves get the best of me.
What a moment it was. And for me personally, I had a front row seat thanks to yourself. You kindly invited me as your guest for the Grand Slam, and as our listeners know now. But what was more special, beating Peter Wright or me buying you a beer afterwards? Because me buying someone a beer doesn't happen very often.
I appreciate the beer afterwards. Honestly, I don't think I could pinpoint any one thing that made that night more special than another. I think everything from getting in the Uber at the hotel to pulling up to the venue for the first time to getting out. Actually, when I got out, and you can ask my wife, three people came up to us that were in the parking lot waiting and actually had a picture of my CDC Q School picture and asked me to sign it. So, and then, getting there, walking through the back with the PDC staff and them, knowing who I was and directing me in the right direction. And then, to run into Mark Webster in the hallway and him pointing me in the right direction to the players' room where, like I said, I got a warm welcome to absorbing the crowd and getting on stage. I don't think you could pinpoint anyone through that entire evening that was any more special than the next. I think every part from, like I said, getting in the Uber, leaving the hotel, all the way to the point where I showed back up to the hotel that evening, I think everything that happened was equally special.
Good answer. And you then get past Stephen Bunting the next night, end up becoming only the third American to reach that knockout stage of the Grand Slam. Was it hard then to get up for that last group game, knowing that you had already got that spot in the last 16?
It was hard only because people had already approached me, sent me messages, told me that I needed to win 3 legs to win the group. So rather than playing against Chizzy for the win, I was playing for a leg count, and that whenever you do that, you're automatically putting yourself at a disadvantage. You're not playing for the flat-out win. You're playing for, hey, let me get a leg here, let me get a leg there. And it showed. It showed in my performance. My performance was less than par. Chizzy came out strong, put me in the hole pretty deep out of the gate. I was able to bounce back and win a couple legs and get the necessary legs to win the group. But if I would have played that match knowing I had to win rather than have to have a handful of legs, I think you would have had a different version of what I can do.
Well, the week does get better for you. You beat the UK Open champion Andrew Gilding and break new ground, the first American to get to the quarterfinals of the Grand Slam. And as this week is going on, how did you process everything that was going on, or did you just try and take it all in your stride?
I tried my hardest to not process any of it and take it in stride and allow the week to catch up with me on the back end as I got home, or as it sunk in. I definitely didn't want to get hung up on individual performances, individual days, this moment. I really didn't want to get caught up in the moment, because I knew if I did, I was going to get really excited and really more nervous than I already was, and things were just going to get out of control for me. But I tried to keep it bottled in the best as I could, and just ride the week out, ride the wave as far as I could ride it, and then after, once the wave crashed, at that point, enjoy everything and dwell on everything and appreciate everything that I had done.
Well, from beating Peter Wright with that 102 average, the wave crashes exactly a week later, the next Saturday, against Stephen Bunting in the quarterfinals. But for someone that had gone from never travelling outside of North America to then getting to the last date of a PDC major event like the Grand Slam, how proud were you of what you achieved that week?
Oh, once I lost to Stephen, once he knocked me out, and hats off to him, it had sunk in. It had sunk in what I had done, what I had accomplished, and it was just a sheer amazing moment of pride, of appreciation, of hey man, you can do this if you really put your mind to it. It all hit me, and it did. It hit me not in a negative way. None of it was negative. I was not mad I lost to Stephen. Was I sad or a little teeny bit upset? Yes. Obviously I wanted to keep going, but after the match I was able to hold my head high and understand that what I had accomplished was nothing shy of amazing for me as a individual.
I managed to spend a bit of time with your wife Crystal on that opening night, and she was showing me some of the messages of support that you were getting from back home. She said as well there were watch parties, people meeting up to watch you on TV for those games. How much does that support mean to you as well?
Oh, it's what gives you the fuel to go out and perform your best. It's no different than a football club when they walk into the stadium. They hope that at their home stadium they see a packed stadium full of their fans supporting them, or if they go to an away match, they hope to see the TV ratings that say that all their fans were watching on TV, or a group of them was able to travel and go to the venue to support them, and that's what I had. I had a great following, a great support system. Nothing shy of perfect. Any and everyone that reached out to me and supported me and showed up abroad to watch me. I believe one of the ADO North American events was going on that weekend. I think it was the Seacoast Open, and somebody sent me a message where they had actually stopped the Seacoast Open and had my match against Peter Wright streaming on the TVs there. They stopped the entire tournament, and that's one of the 5 biggest tournaments in North America, and they stopped it just so they could watch my match, and that was pretty damn awesome. And like I said, just knowing the amount of people from North America supporting me through this endeavor is just amazing.
Look back, let's look ahead then, because once you were back home, it was all eyes on the draw for Ali Pally. You were one of the first names out of the hat, drawing Kevin Duetz, the winner, to play the defending champion Michael Smith. What was your first reaction when you saw the draw?
Why me? Why me? Did I want to have a couple days here? Yes, I wanted to get to London, go to the Ali Pally a couple of days, watch a couple of matches, kind of take in the crowd, feel the crowd, see what type of vibe they're giving off, and then try to use that and build off of that. Now there's no option for that. I'm the starting point. Kevin and myself are the starting point. So it falls heavily on our shoulders to make sure we can go out and perform, whether he put an amazing performance up or whether I put one up, but to make sure that we get the crowd amped up and ready and excited to start the PDC World Championships. And that's what I'm trying to do. I would like to go out there and put on an amazing show, win or lose, and hope that the crowd enjoys it and prepare them for the rest of the event. And, as far as the winner of our match playing Michael Smith, I've said it for many years to, in all the sports I've ever competed in, even when I talk to my kids with their sports, to be the best, you have to beat the best. And that's no disrespect to any of the best players. When I was a kid growing up and playing basketball, everybody wanted to be Michael Jordan. He was the best basketball player. So every professional basketball player knew they had to beat Michael Jordan for them to even be considered the best player. And that's the mindset I will always have. To be the best, I obviously have to go through the best or beat the best. So I just hope that I can go out my first round, win or lose, put on a good show, get the crowd, excited and ready and pumped up for a 2024 PDC World Championship.
Yeah, we're looking forward to watching it and yourself in that first game. And I know you've got a lot of family travelling over this time as well. You'll know after the Friday night if you're going to need to extend your stay in London. If you do make it through, will you go home and then come back, or will it be Christmas in the UK if you make that third round?
If I make the third round, I think we're pretty much at a decision point to where we will stay in London and just spend Christmas in London. Financially, mathematically, it would be tough on the back end for me to go home for Christmas, fly back to London the day after Christmas, and only have a half a day to a day turnaround and have to be back up on the board. That's not, in my opinion, a good turnaround for me. Not for the amount of travel that's for us coming from America. So it would just make more sense to just ride Christmas here in London and enjoy the sights and enjoy the people and build some camaraderie and some friendship.
Well, you'll certainly get to do that if you make it through. You'll have a lot of time before your next game. Two other things, some might say the two most important things for a dart player, the walk-on song and the nickname, and both of those got sorted whilst you were over here last time. You didn't go for the Master, you didn't take my one, the Zulu, you went with the Neon Nightmare and Celebration by Cool and the Gang. Talk us through those choices.
So my dad has played in a classic rock, southern rock band since before I was born. He still plays to this day. Matter of fact, the 3 days after I was home from the Grand Slam, his band was playing at a local bar in our area, and we went and watched them. So I grew up listening to music, everything from Lionel Richie to ZZ Top to Pat Travers to Allman Brothers to Kool and the Gang to Michael Jackson to Queen. I grew up listening to all genres of music, and just the love and appreciation I've always had for it. When I was a young kid, my mom would always have the record player playing or the tape cassette playing, and it would be, like I said, anything from any of the bands I just named or individuals I just named. And so I wanted to do something unique. I wanted to honestly do something that I knew would get myself kind of going, but I also wanted to play a song that I felt like the crowd would get behind. And honestly, even if you've only heard that song 3 times in your life, you know the chorus, because it's a catchy chorus. It's a chorus that you'll never forget. So I wanted something the crowd I knew would be able to sing along to, get behind, and enjoy. And it just talks about celebrating good times around the world. And what better way to celebrate a good time around the world than the PDC World Championship? So I committed to it. I used it at the Grand Slam. I felt like it had a pretty decent support, and I'm hoping that it'll only get better and grow for the world. So Neon Nightmare. I mean, obviously Dan Dawson, he coined that phrase. I knew nothing about it. Obviously, I was on stage. He coined it. I come off from playing. My wife didn't even know anything about it. Only the people that listened to it and watched it live could hear it. So the outpour of messages and, hey man, go check out the video clip. Hey, this is what Dan Dawson said. And so it caught on quick, and before I could even say yay or nay, half of North America was saying yay. So, and some of Europe was saying yay as well. So at that point, it's Dan Dawson. It's him or Wayne Martle or Mark Webster or John Parr. They coin a nickname, and it sticks. You kind of got to just go with it, and so we did. So that's the nickname we're going to use for Worlds, and that's the nickname that I'll be using moving forward.
And lastly, before we let you go, all eyes are going to be on Ali Pally this Friday, but beyond that, lots to play for next year. I know that the one weekend you've already can't wait for is New York. So how excited are you to play that US Masters and the North American Championship in 2024?
Yeah, I'm excited for the Worlds, obviously. I'm really excited for the US Masters and North American Open. The home crowd, I know 85% of the crowd will be behind me. There'll still be some people there that will root against me, and that's fine. That's great. That's what camaraderie and that's what competition's about. But yeah, Madison Square Garden, growing up watching the Knicks play there, watching Michael Jordan play the Knicks there. Just it's an iconic venue in North America, and to be able to walk in there and play and represent North America against the best players in the world. I'm really hoping that I can, and I'll have enough time. I have 6 months to actually put in more work, concentration, increase my practice time, and really prepare myself for that tournament. It was short turnaround for the Grand Slam, and then from Grand Slam to Worlds is short turnaround, especially with the holiday season over in America. So starting January 1st to June 1st, I got plenty of time to get my mind right, to put in plenty of extra practice time, get my mechanics sound, and really hope that I can showcase my talent there.
So it's been an absolute pleasure to follow this journey of yourself over the last few months, from winning those CDC titles, getting to the Grand Slam, and looking ahead to this debut in the biggest tournament there is, the World Championship. Best of luck for Friday. What else is to come this year and next year as well?
What else is to come? Man, I'm just going to have fun. Have fun with whatever's in front. And Lau, I always appreciate it, man. You are a stand-up guy. Thank you for everything that you've done, which is why I extended my hand at the Grand Slam and gave you a ticket and said, come on, man. Come out and hang out and have a good time.